Now is Automation. Automation being partnered here by James McDonald. So racing about to get underway at Rosehill. There's no wind at all today. Quite pleasant, and the gates are back in the first. Automation jumped quite nicely, but being sent forward early is Lady Boss to race to a narrow lead until Valhalla handy together with Imposant going forward. Then Captain Maverick on the inside of Mickey's Medal, and 3 or 4 lengths away to Madatsu. Lady Boss rolls forward here, eyeing off the lead inside the 1200 metres, and Lady Boss in front by a half length to Automation, parked up on the outside. Then come until Valhalla on the inside of Imposant. Further back to Captain Maverick on the inside of Mickey's Medal, and 2 lengths off to Madatsu. So Lady Boss, who is taken to the front by Dylan Gibbons, races at her own leisure here by a half length on Automation. 2 lengths to Until Valhalla on the inside of Imposant. Then Mickey's Medal is travelling strongly on the outside of Captain Maverick, and 2 off to Madatsu. The field is 7, race to the 750, and Lady Boss in control. Out by a half length to Automation. Then came Imposant. There shouldn't be any hard luck stories today. Madatsu takes off the outside. Then come Until Valhalla from Mickey's Medal, and Captain Maverick racing around the turn. Lady Boss in front from Automation, Imposant, and Madatsu trying to sustain the run on the outside, doing a good job of it as well. And at the 300 metres, Madatsu moved up on the outside of Imposant. Then Automation, Lady Boss back on the inside, and now Mickey's Medal with the last shot on the outside. There's a great 3-way tussle here. On the outside, Madatsu, Imposant back on the inside, Automation, but Madatsu gets the upper hand, and Madatsu won it by 3/4 to the fast finishing Until Valhalla. I think Automation third in front of Imposant, then Mickey's Medal, Lady Boss, and Captain Maverick.
Number 6, Madatsu. Tommy Berry riding for Chris Waller, resuming off a 40-week spell. Tommy made that, or not mid-race move, but he took off before the turn there, and he got the upper hand, and it was a good win from this 4-year-old gelding, only lightly raced. That was win number 2. Still waiting on the minors. I didn't quite get them, Duff, but you'll have more of a view than I did from here, but we do know that Madatsu has taken out the first race.
Yes, and maybe Automation second, and Until Valhalla was doing good work and is right up there as well. But boy, that's a win and a half. They went steady, made a long sustained run, Madatsu. He's obviously a promising stayer. They thought enough of him after winning a Class 1 at Kembla to run him in the Champion Stakes, where he started the $17 chance, and boy, he was quite dominant there, I must say. He was pretty impressive considering he was only first up there, and he sustained a long run. There's no real excuses for the 2 favourites, who were both there to win at the right time. Maybe Lady Boss didn't run the distance out.
Chris, congratulations. A nice way to start the new season. But this fella, a long spell, I think Tommy rode him well. He made the right move at the right time.
Yeah, he sure did. There was good pace early. They backed off through the mid-stages, and Tommy had the initiative to get rolling a bit earlier. And I didn't know if he'd sustain the run, because he did get going early, but to the horse's credit, he certainly did.
You must have had an opinion of him, because you sent him around in the Spring Champ Stakes last preparation.
Yep, he's Tony Mulow's horse. Him and his brother, I think, bred the horse, and thought enough of him firstly to send him to Australia and have a little look at those races. But as I touched on, he must have just had a little problem. He's had a decent break and recovered well from it, and yeah, he's showed why he was brought to Australia there today.
Have you got anything in mind for him, or am I putting you on the spot now?
No, we'd find a race in 3 weeks' time. Let them get a week to get over the run's always good, and then we sort of assess them in about 10 days, give them a bit of an open up on the track. And having good track riders, they'll tell you, oh, this horse has improved, or this horse needs further, and so we go off what they say, and normally they get it right and help me out.
Nice way to start the day. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Tommy. That was a great ride, mate. They only looked to be going steady up in front there.
Yeah, it was. Chris sort of gave me a bit of an open book to put him into the race a little bit early. I'm not sure if he would have liked it to be as early as I did, but I just found, because they'd gone very steady, I didn't want to make my move a bit later and then have everyone sort of start popping before the corner. So I made it at a time where it was probably a bit early for everyone to make their runs, and he sustained it really well. And full credit to Chris and his team. They put a really good foundation for this horse first up.
He looks like he's come back well, can only bounce off that out to, say, 2,000 metres.
Yeah, he's a progressive staying type, and obviously Chris had a big opinion of him, running him in a Group 1 at his second start here in Australia, which you don't see him usually do. So he's had a little bit of time off and matured quite nicely, and this is only the start of what's to come for him.
And just a quick one on the track.
Yeah, I think it's closer to a 4 than a 5. I galloped on it this morning. There's quite a heavy dew on it, but that's gone now and the sun's out, so let's enjoy the rest of the day.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Nick. Cheers.
Has a wide draw to contend with, but the last start winner moving into line, and we're ready to go on the midway. Over 1,400 metres. Ready. Racing now. Oh, Machiavellian blew the start by 4 lengths. Bluff and Bluster taken back. Herb being taken back. And Forecaster jumps swiftly together with Satnus quickly striding up on the outside. They're followed then by the Extreme Cat on the inside at Tenderize, and Leicester is deeper out looking for a position as they go into the first turn, and Satnus goes on with the job, and Satnus at the 1,000 heads off Forecaster. Leicester 3 wide goes to third from Tenderize, and the Extreme Cat fifth, the rails. A length further back to Part for Doe. 2 after the Great Houdini on inside Peace Officer. 2 further back to Plucked In from Herb, Bluff and Bluster. And all Machiavellian last a dozen off the lead. 7.50 to go. Satnus in front by a length and a half. Leicester to second. Forecaster back to third. 2 off then to Tenderize from the Extreme Cat, Part for Doe. Length and a half. Great Houdini, Peace Officer, Bluff and Bluster. Starting a run 3 and 4 wide. Herb will ride for luck as they straighten up, and Satnus in front by a length and a half. Leicester under the pump. Forecaster pushing through. Leicester dropping off now as Forecaster goes to second. Then Tenderize, the Extreme Cat's running up behind them. McDonald needs to suck in here and get the gap. Forecaster goes to the front. The Extreme Cat gets its chance. Putfordo winding up on the outside. The Extreme Cat got underneath Forecaster. The Extreme Cat's going to win. The Extreme Cat goes back to back beating Forecaster, and Peace Officer running on into third. Then Putfordo, Tenderize, Great Houdini, Satnus. Further back to Pluckton, Herb. Gap then to Leicester, Bluff and Bluster, and all Machiavellian.
Favourite salutes here in race number 2. The Extreme Cat, James McDonald and Nathan Doyle defeats number 5, Forecaster. Peace Officer was brilliant into third spot, and I think you'll find Putt for Doe has finished in 4th there. But favourite too good, albeit a narrow gap there, Duff, but he was able to push his way through.
Yeah, that's why you put McDonald on. You may take unders, but you get results. He just squeezed through a needle eye opening there, just sat back, bided his time, read the speed of the race beautifully, and they just opened up when they want him to. On straightening here, you think, oh, he's in a bit of trouble, and then they just wander a little bit. He gets a sniff of that gap underneath Forecaster there, and Satnus on the inside, and that was where he got his momentum rolling and gets the job done. The favourite backers breathe a sigh of relief. Forecaster's gone really well there.
Well, Nath, the first half of the race worked out beautifully. He just needed that gap to open, but he was able to bullock his way through.
Yeah, he expected to sort of be third defence there, and when the sort of grey crossed and let the other one sort of roll back and sort of put us 3 back the pegs, and we're following a cut of the roughies. I wasn't excited being in that position because I know he's a bit of a momentum horse, but once he got the split, he tackled the line strongly, and especially when those other horses had the momentum out wide, it's sort of very difficult to make ground up the inside there, but it ended up a great ride by James. It was good to get a result for Australian Bloodstock.
Where to now?
I hadn't looked past today, to be honest, but he's probably ticked the 1,400 box, and it's going to be sort of difficult for him sort of coming into spring, but we'd like to give him a couple more than just maybe save him for the summer.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, James. You had to wait for the gap, but geez, he sprinted well when it came.
Yeah, lucky he's small. He whipped through the gap really well, but he's travelling good, and he was a very well-placed horse. Obviously prepared very well and come here in good order.
Do you reckon the 1,400 metres saw him out?
Well, 14 was perfect for him. He ran it out strongly, but he had an economical trip in transit, but he did a really good job. Obviously, he's a little... He tries hard, so we'll take him a long way.
Beautiful. Thanks, James.
Ready to run now. So Vivier, first run here in New South Wales, is the favourite. Light is on, and we're ready to go. Racing now. And Dipsy Doodle jumped brilliantly. Dipsy Doodle's going to lead comfortably, and Cosmonova's right there to hold leaders back. Vivier third the outside, and Zipperless goes forward on the outer. 2 lengths away to Love Shock, Kandinsky Abstract, Cinematic Star, and Unstoppable's going to park last of all. Dipsy Doodle charging along by 2. On the roughie, Zipperless striding to second. Cosmonova third, a few off the lead. About 2.5 to the favourite Vivier. 1.5 lengths to Love Shock, Kandinsky Abstract, 3/4 in the running line, and the last 2 at this point. Cinematic Star on the outside of Unstoppable. 5.50 to go, and Dipsy Doodle's giving them something to chase here. She's out by 3 or 4. Cosmonova stoked up, pushing into second, beating off Zipperless, and now the favourite Vivier getting to the outside and starting to hit top gear. Dipsy Doodle at the 300, 1.5 lengths to Cosmonova, 2 off to Vivier. Cosmonova's going after Dipsy Doodle. Dipsy Doodle, Cosmonova, 2 off to Vivier, who's grinding. It's Cosmonova trying to overhaul Dipsy Doodle. Dipsy showing plenty of fight. Dipsy Doodle, Cosmonova, they hit the line. Close. Oh, very close. Dipsy Doodle and Cosmonova have dropped the nose down. Vivier every chance in third, followed then by Unstoppable, Love Shock, Kandinsky Abstract, Zipperless, and Cinematic Star was last in. Hold your briefs. This is a tight one. Dipsy Doodle clinging on gamely, and then Cosmonova getting the bound in, and she's got up.
Outside, we've got a few cheers here. I'm not 100% sure who they're cheering for. Number's still not in the frame. But as we get to the slow shot, the slow-mo, I'm going to say the outside, but again, just wait for that photo. And there's the photo. There it is. Outside gets it. Cosmonova, Joe Pride, and Reese Jones just gets the head down in time to defeat a very gallant Dipsy Doodle. Vivier finishes third, and I think you'll find it could have been Love Shock on the outside into fourth place, but we'll get the official number in a moment. Duff took her every inch of that 1200 to get there, but she got there.
Yeah, she did. Very fit horse, up in grade, did the job well, showed a bit of desire, just sat on Dipsy Doodle's back, who was very good with 59.5. I thought she overdid things mid-race, and on straightening, I thought the favourite would just go straight past them, considering the early.
Well done, Joe. Did you think you got the bob in?
I did, actually. I'm not a bad judge of those things. I should be by now. I've been watching races for long enough, but what happened was exactly what I thought I saw, was her just get her head down late. So it was good result, because you don't like losing those ones. Both horses almost deserve a win when it's like that, but only one can come away with the win. So it was a good result.
She's on us, 4 from 7 now. She's building a great record.
She is. We've always had a lot of faith in this filly, and she had her first couple of runs of this preparation on heavy tracks, and we can see now that wasn't to her liking. But she's come back really well with a couple of wins, and she joins that good group of fillies with the Black Cloud and In Flight, all in the proven thoroughbred colours. And she's 4 now, but they're all the same age, and they're promising bunch of fillies.
Do you keep going with her?
Look, I'll probably tip her out. I'll have a look at it, but I'll probably tip her out.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Well done, Reese. Did you think she got there?
I did. I was quite confident. I think I got the timing spot on today. First time over the 1200, I didn't want to expose her too soon. I think if I left it any longer, she doesn't get there. And if I go too soon, she probably peaks on the run. But she was too good to get the job done. She's a nice progressive mare now. I'm really happy I've had a good association with her.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a great affiliation with her. Do you think the dry tracks is the key to her?
Yeah, I think she gets over the wet track all right. Obviously, when she failed a couple of starts back, it was too wet for her, shifty ground. But I think she handles it. She's tough, she's tenacious, and she's got a nice little will to win there. So happy to get another winner for Proven and for Joe as well.
Well done, Reece. You've got a couple of happy owners here, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Now moving up to the gates, a big winner at Dubbo last time out. And Giving Delight has been placed into the gates. 14 running here. The light is on and we're set to go. Gates are back, they're off. Well, Point Bass missed the kick by 2 lengths, and Super Norwest has jumped well. Cool Storm written forward now, and Cool Storm will race to the lead. Björn Ironside on the scene with Super Norwest, and InterVarsity's in a gun position right on the back of the speed on the inside of Consenza. 2 further back to Extra Flash. Lonrose Queen will park midfield. 2 further back to King of Spades on the inside of Okiata. 2 further back then in the early stages of the race as they find their positions is Melody again. Then Syrian Star wiggles. Well back Giving Delight. And Point Basses last of all. The white-faced Cool Storm leads at the 550. A length and a half on Super Norwest. Bjorn Ironside into Varsity fourth on the inside. Just leaving the fence a little bit. Looking for clear running as they turn into the straight. Cool Storm a length in front of Super West. Into Varsity couldn't get out. Back on the inside from Bjorn Ironside. Consenta winding up. So is Lonrose Queen. Melody again's coming down the stands rail and looking a bit of a hope. Super Norwest from Cool Storm into Varsity coming off heels. Lonrose Queen is lengthening. Melody again the outside fence. Lonrose Queen through the middle. Lonrose Queen burst on the scene late and too strong. Beating Super Norwest, Cool Storm. Giving Delight rattled home. Melody again peaked on the run wide out. Into Varsity plotted a bit when clear. Then came Bjorn Ironside from Consenza. King of Spades, Syrian Star, Extra Flash, Okakiata, and Point Bass was always towards the rear. Lonrose Queen the winner.
Number 12, Lonrose Queen. She goes back-to-back in the Tab Highways. Cam Crockett and Jason Collett combining. Now, let's wait for the Miners. Not too sure. Did the horse down the very outside get up for second, or did Super Norwest hold on? We'll wait and see. Duff, we might come to you. We are waiting for the numbers.
Yeah, well, is she just going from strength to strength, Lonrose Queen? I think it's Super Norwest there in the middle, and maybe on the inside even Cool Storm has run a bottler from up in front, 1200 for the first time. Melody again threw it away. She just wanted to get on one rein from the, well, pretty well all the whole race. And, yeah, so maybe excuses there. If you see the head on there, she's just on one rein, not flattening out at all. So to wander out there and run a big race, you'd say she's had legitimate excuses. The favourite, into Varsity, just lacked the experience. She was sort of all over the place, and then she gets chopped out by the winner late, when she was going to pretty well do nothing, just greenness.
Cam, well done. She's gone back-to-back. She's building a nice little record.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. I've been last 14 days looking for excuses not to run her again. Been under no pressure at all from Jeanette or Goree, just letting me make all the decisions, and they said if you don't want to run her, don't run her, put her out. I just been thinking she's got to come to the end of it eventually, but that's the end of her preparation, win, lose or draw today. Yeah, gee, she's a nice horse. I haven't had one like her before.
She'll go out, she'll come back. What are you thinking?
I don't know, it would have been nice if she was eligible for the Kosciuszko, but again, when Goree gave her to me, it was mainly to win a maiden, so she would go to the breeding barn a winner, but they always said if she shows like she's a horse worth training on, she's a racing prospect, so maybe something like that next year if she comes back. We're going to put her out, and just so the timing's right, if she can run 1400, she'll be fit for Tamworth. If we don't think she can run 1400, we'll find something else. So I don't need to lock her into anything like that. I think she's got plenty of ability, so there'll be plenty of options.
Well done, go and grab her.
Thank you.
Well done, Jason. She just seems to be relishing these high-pressure races.
She is, yeah. She's on the quick ground today, a bit further, and probably aided by that gate. It just meant I could be that bit closer, but you're right, the tempo was strong, but she was strong late, so yeah, really happy with that.
I just heard Cam said he's probably going to put her out for a spell. Do you think she comes back better next preparation?
Has to, really. Yeah, she's since going into his care, you'd say she's obviously coming from city grade races where she started off to provincial. It's obviously, country, I should say. But look, she's got the frame. She's still only young, so yeah, she's done really well this preparation.
Well done, Jace. Great ride.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Zach Lloyd, crowned champion, apprentice jockey of the previous season. The light is on and we're ready to go. First leg of the Big Six with Jackpot today. And they're racing. Centerstone a half length away last of all. Hell of a Dancer jump. Well Crazy Train there. I Am Famous going up the inside and went out. Showing a bit of speed as well as African Daisy. So I Am Famous holds the front from Hell of a Dancer, and African Daisy is committed to the cause of pushing forward, going to second. Hell of a Dancer back to third. 2 lengths away to Nancy, followed by Southern Chile. They're followed further back then by Centerstone down on the rails as Crazy Train gets back. Selfless Act and a length after Sweet Mercy. So the grey mare I Am Famous shows the way by 2 on African Daisy. Hell of a Dancer without cover third, shading Nancy. 2 off then to Southern Chile from Centre Stone, Crazy Train, Selfless Act. And last of all is Sweet Mercy. Approaching the 600, I Am Famous a length in front to African Daisy. Make it a length and a half as I Am Famous scoots a bit here. Then Hell of a Dancer on the outside of Nancy, and Southern Chile heads the rest. I Am Famous turns the corner in front by a length on African Daisy. Hell of a Dancer with clear running. Nancy back on the inside and restricted room, and then came Southern Chile. I Am Famous at the 300 leads the way by 2. Nancy's pushing off the fence. Hell of a Dancer grinding on the outside. I Am Famous at the 150 going strongly. I Am Famous a length and a half to Nancy. Hell of a Dancer. I Am Famous kept going from Nancy. I Am Famous clinging on. I Am Famous led all the way from Nancy. Hell of a Dancer third. Crazy Train fourth. Then African Daisy, Selfless Act, Sweet Mercy, Southern Chile, and near tailed off at the end was Centre Stone.
She's building a nice little record, this mare now. I Am Famous, Chris Waller and Kieran McAvoy. That makes it 3 on the trot for her, and she salutes. She was there to be beaten, but they couldn't gather her in. And Nancy finishes second, Hell of a Dancer in third, and Crazy Train will wind up in fourth. Duff?
Well, she's a different horse this preparation. She's gone bang, bang, bang up in class. She overdid it and wanted to over-race mid-stages there, but she's pulled out plenty when Nancy was presented at the right time. So a very, very good win. Barrier 1 again, 5 races down, 4 barrier 1s and a second. So obviously some advantage there in retrospect at looking at those inside draws. So she was very good, and who knows, she might be black type in the waiting later on. Nancy battled on. Hell of a Dancer had a chance, but all honours with the winner, did it both ends.
Well, Chris, I remember interviewing you after she won at Warwick Farm 2 starts ago, and who would have thought she'd go on to make it 3?
Yeah, it's as we probably touched on that day, a bit of confidence was what we were hoping for, and that's what she's found. And Kieran's just worked with her nicely the last 2 starts. She wasn't leading and winning 3 starts ago, but she is now, and she's comfortable, and that was Kieran's instructions today. Just let her be where she's happy, where she's comfortable, and he's a great front-running rider.
Could she build up to black type now, do you think?
Eventually. We've sort of... Yeah, I don't think she'll go too much further this prep, but obviously she's very well bred, and placing is the key. So if we can just find the right races, it'll lead to something like that.
Well done, Chris.
Thank you.
Well, Kieran, she was impressive at Hawkesbury. She backed it up here Saturday grade.
Yeah, she did. She's come a long way, and Chris has been patient with her, and he's picking the fruits of that now. That patience. She's coming into her own, and I was a little bit worried. She'd been in and scratched a couple of times, and she's such a sort of a big fresh girl. I thought, she had a bit of time between runs, but Chris had her spot on.
Do you think you've led on her to the past 2 starts? That might be the key to her?
Well, it's just about getting her comfortable, and she's sort of that. We've got to find the sweet spot with her, because she's got that high head carriage. But if she's able to either follow a nice speed or just make it her own, then as long as you have her comfortable. So that was the plan today, and to her credit, she's getting some confidence and heading in the right direction. So it's good to see her win a Saturday race today, and she's improving all the time.
Beautiful. Well done, Karen.
Thanks, Ta.
And Monarch's Bray, who's become a bit of a Canterbury specialist, bold front-running type, is the last to move in. So the light is on, we're ready to go. Congratulations, James McDonald. Handicap in the off. Unanimous, the favourite bounced out well. So did Vega Magnifico. Father's Day trying to go forward on the outside of Fortune. Made by Khan out wide. Monarch's Bray skirting the outside fence. Fulfilled is in the middle of the ruck on the outside of Methuselah. Getting back toes on the nose from Vincenzo. And 3 lengths away to Blackcomb at the rear of the field. Father's Day's in a much better mood today. Father's Day takes the lead with Made by Khan rolling up on the outside. But Father's Day holds the front, as he loves to do. Fortune just covering a bit of ground, getting into third in the early stages on the outside of Unanimous, and Vega Magnifico just easing back a little bit off the heels of the stablemate. 2 lengths then to Monarch's Bray, settles in the second half of the field together with Methuselah the rails. 2 off to Vincenzo on the inside of Fulfilled. 2 lengths further back then to Toes on the nose, and 3 lengths away to Blackcomb. So they're covering a bit of ground, and Father's Day the front runner by 3/4 to Made by Khan. They're followed by Fortune in a 3-wide third position. Unanimous back on the inside of Vega Magnifico, who hasn't won a race in almost a year, on the beach in Ireland. Further back to Methuselah on the inside of Monarch's Bray. Then Vincenzo from Fulfilled, Black Comb and Toes on the nose. So they're taking closer order inside the 800 metres. Father's Day, a half to made by Khan. Fortune still in a 3-wide position. Vega Magnifico goes to fourth. Monarch's Bray's off the bridle. Further back to Methuselah as they come to the turn. And it's Father's Day being roused along now from Fortune the outside, who moves up to second. Vega Magnifico coming off the fence. Then Monarch's Bray and Methuselah making good headway at the 300. And Fortune in the middle of the track, joined by Methuselah on the outside. Monarch's Bray, then Vega Magnifico. Black Comb is running on. It's Methuselah and Monarch's Bray slogging it out now inside the 150. Methuselah and Monarch's Bray. Methuselah with the head in front. Methuselah just from Monarch's Bray, and Methuselah gets it. Methuselah by a neck on the line to Monarch's Bray. Black Comb finished in third. Vega Magnifico fourth. Then Toes on the nose. Fortune dropped out. So did Father's Day. Then came Fulfilled, Toes on the nose, Vincenzo, and Made by Khan last.
Number 12, Methuselah, giving Chris Waller and Karen McAvoy another win on the program here today. Defeats the 8, the stablemate, a Monarch's Bray. Black Comb finishes third, and 2, Vega Magnifico. And I'm not sure what happened with Unanimous, dropped out at about that 600 metre mark. We'll have to get a steward's report on that horse. But all honours with Methuselah. There was a bit of money for him, and he was too good here, Duff.
Yeah, he found his right race and he got the right run. They went out hard. He saved ground on the inside. Then when he was in a bit of trouble there, when something went amiss with the favourite, there's something badly wrong with him. Unanimous, he dropped out from the 800 really. But he got around his heels and then he just trucked into it beautifully. Thought he was going to win easier, so very brave from Monarch's Bray to fight back there and make some sort of a race with it. And then the Black Combs battled on quite nicely there. But, he's another astute switch of states by Chris Waller, with Methuselah hitting a peak fourth up here today in the right race.
12, 8, 9 and 2. Time 2:01.68 and the final 600, 37.13. Well done, Chris. You sent this horse down to Melbourne after his first up run here, and you've brought him back, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, we sent him to Melbourne to get some good tracks because it looked like a terrible winter heading our way, and the tracks have dried out. We brought him back home, and the team in Melbourne have done a great job with him.
Where does he fit in with the grand scheme of things? Is he a promising stayer?
Yeah, he is. We thought enough of him to send him down to Cup Week in the spring, but he got a temperature and that just ruined his preparation. So just typical of the Autumn Suns, just keep improving with age, and now that he's got that winning feeling and a bit of confidence back, I'm sure he can go on with it. And it was a good fight, the two stablemates, the last 200 metres, so he had his chance to lie down and he said, no, I want the victory.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Karen. Race-to-race double, and look, it was a good duel down the straight, but he did it well on the line.
Yeah, he did. Chris he was quite adamant that his horse had been running well, and just didn't have things going his way down in Melbourne. So back up here, the blinkers on, which was, I think, a positive move as well, and got some nice confidence from Chris. He said, look, the horse is going well, just try and use your gate a little bit, and it looked as though it was going to be a nicely run race, and that's what it was, and we were there in the corner ready to aim up and shoot.
Well, he did it well off the Genuine Speed 2000. Do you think he could get further?
Possibly, yep. I think that might have been as far as he's gone so far in his career, but he's got a lovely big stride, good attitude, and I'm sure he can keep progressing from there.
Well done, Karen.
It's tough.
Here's Darren.
Something wasn't right, and Unanimous pulled up with cardiac arrhythmia, who failed to complete the course in the previous. Light is on, we're ready to go. Off here on the first leg of the quaddie, and a great line out. Nosy Parker will go back to last. Boston Rocks jump well. So did Bamaria on the outside, and Compelling Truth is being roused along to hunt right up on the inside and hold the pair of them out. Memoria's out deep. On the outside of Munitions, then came With Your Blessing, Stromboli, the favourite, second last Spring Lee. 6 lengths away to Nosy Parker. Bamaria really serving it up on the outside of Compelling Truth, who's not handing up the fence. And the pair goes stride for stride. Memoria 3 wide third. on the outside of Boston Rocks. With Your Blessing pushing through on the rails. Further back to Munition, Stromboli. Springlee's going to need some luck. Second last on the rails. And last is Nosy Parker into the straight. Compelling Truth and Bamaria. They've been carving each other up. Boston Rocks getting the head up on the outside. With Your Blessing. Now Springlee's running on. Just needs a bit of luck. Rachel King coming off heels. And Stromboli gets going on the outside. And here's Nosy Parker. Nosy Parker on the outside. Now she gets the run, Springlee. Nosy Parker, Springlee. Nosy Parker at odds. Nosy Parker beats Springlee and Stromboli third. Then Boston Rocks followed by Compelling Truth. With Your Blessing, Munitions, further back Memoria. And Bamaria was set an enormous task. Has finished last.
Number 11, a Nosy Parker pays any old odds here. Well done, Tommy Berry and Paul Perry defeating the favourite Springlee. She was gallant. She had a few little excuses there. 3 Stromboli finishes in third spot and 10 Boston Rocks will wind up in fourth spot. Ronnie, dissect that race for us.
Well, I didn't see that coming though. Nosy Parker out of a couple of midways. He has just jumped out of the ground and improved out of sight there to get the money. Should have won the second horse. He just got hampered the whole race, so never really got balanced, and probably be the hard luck story of the day. Bailed in behind them there, nowhere to go. They went too hard. They come back in her face, and then she had to come round them again. Check, out she comes, hampered again, and just momentum. Just momentum with Nosy Parker down the outside gets the money.
Indeed he does. 11.9, 3 and 10. Race time 103.48. The last 600 metres 34.
Well, Tommy, they went at a very fast speed there and you just let it all unfold and too good late.
Yeah, that was always the plan. Obviously, he's a horse that likes to find his rhythm, and he's better over a little bit further. But Andrew Atkins gave me a pretty good push for him during the week. Said he's a very honest horse with a good turn of foot. So I knew this race had the sort of the shape to overdo it early, and that's what they did, and it was made up for something to come from behind, and luckily that was us.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was back to 1100 today, but do you think the 13, 14 probably better for him?
Well, I don't know, maybe he's 11, 1200 metre horse off a fast speed, but, you know, it's nice to see a horse that can be a bit versatile, but he was just here today to run well. In all honesty, I don't think any of us thought he'd win, but halfway around, he just tracked up so well for me. He's a lovely big horse to look at as well, so hopefully he's in for a good preparation.
I think the ride won the race. Well done, mate.
I appreciate it, mate. Thanks, Nick.
I draw with Natural Willer aboard. So Cepheus is locked away, the light is on and we're ready to go. The New South Wales Jockeys Association Reunion Day, and they're racing, and Williamsburg anticipated the start quite well, but Testator Salens is handy. Cepheus there. Jojo is a man there with the red colours, white cap pushing on to Stadio Mestea handy. Then came Riazan. Further back to Robusto trying to improve on the outside of Junipal. Lion's Roar gets back with More Secrets, and Elias is going to settle last of all. Williamsburg's up on the outside of Testator Salens. Yeah, that's Williamsburg. Well, he's been gelded recently and he's showing a bit of toe here, Williamsburg, to lead from Testator Salens and Cepheus. Jojo as a man was eased back to fourth, 2 off to Estadio Mestea. On the inside of Riazan, a length and a half Junipal, then Robusto, More Secrets, Lion's Roar. Last of all is Elias. So about 10 lengths cover the field, and Williamsburg galloping in the lead by a length and a half on the highly weighted Cepheus. Testator Salens, the post-time favourite, third with a tail trail. Then came Jojo as a man to Stadio Mestea, 3 fence from Riazan as they turn, and Williamsburg turns the corner in front by 2 lengths on Cepheus. Testator Salens presents Stadio Mestea making ground on the rails. Further back, Jojo was a man, Riazan, More Secret held up inside the 200, and Williamsburg showing a great kick today. It's Williamsburg 2 lengths clear from Testator Salens, Riazan, then came Stadio Mestea. Williamsburg in front inside the 50. Williamsburg's going to lead all the way. The gelding really has done the trick. Williamsburg's won it. 3-way go for the miners of Stadio Mestea. Testator Salens, Riazan wide out. Then Junipal from Elias, Cepheus. Jojo is a man, More Secrets. Robusto, Lion's Roar.
Well, he returns a few stone lighter today. He went straight to the front and he was too good off a little bit of a freshen up. Number 7, Williamsburg, Tyler Schiller for Gerald Ryan and Sterling Alexio. He defeats, now it was between Joe's pair, Estadio Mestalla and also Testator Salens. And then we had... I missed that fourth place, Ronnie. You'll be able to see better than what I can from here. But what we do know is Williamsburg has saluted.
Yeah, he has. He's the man today. Well, maybe he's not the man now, but he gets the job done full of confidence after 630-something days to beat the stablemate. So that's Rosehill. And I thought, hello, what's going on here? The 10-year-old looming up. And he did have specking today that runs fourth there into fourth spot. But... great ride, Tyler. He just took the bull by the horns and controlled the race to suit himself and forced him into action today.
Indeed it did. 7, 10, 14 and 13 Riazan was at fourth place. He went to the front. I don't know if that's what he was supposed to do, but they couldn't get past him.
No, I didn't think he'd lead, and there was no intention to lead. We just said be positive and ride him in the first 5 or 6, but Tyler's only had a few rides on him. He's gone really well for him each time, and he was wrapped in his trial the other day, but he was the same as I was before. They went slow time early in the trial and not about race time, but it was good to see him kick. But, it's hard to tell. His mannerisms at home since we gelded him has been very, very similar to what he was when he was a colt. He's always a very quiet colt. But his work's been sharper. And it's great. It's great for everyone I can see. And Sally and TFI, they persevered with him, and they called big call the gelding because he had good group form. He's a very well-bred horse, but I found another bow to his arrow, or arrow to his bow, whatever they say. But he's everybody's favourite, and I'm very happy he's won.
What have you got mapped out for him?
Nothing. We just thought we'll poke along, see how he goes. A month ago I said to Sally that we'd run here first up and then perhaps go to the Rolly Mole and then play it by ear, but no, he's a five diamonds horse. You could get in a big dance. He's ran good in an Epsom before when he wasn't in real good form, and he only got beat 2 3/4 lengths last year in an Epsom, so there's plenty of races for him.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Tyler. You've had a little bit to do with him. Was the gelding operation the key for him?
I think so. As I said to Gerald the other day in the trial, I felt like he just felt like a different animal. He cruised along in the trial. I didn't ask too much of him, and he won really convincingly in his trial, but it was a different pace to race day. The pressure's different, and when I had to use him a bit today, I was a little bit queried whether he was going to be as tough as he was late as he had to be early, but he toughed it out well, and I thought he won pretty nicely.
Is that the new Williamsburg? You led on him in the trial and then you led on him today?
Yeah, I think today he jumped well enough. We were happy to be anywhere in the first 5 sort of, and he put himself there. I was happy that we were going a tempo that I could sustain, and when I asked him to quicken, he really let down nicely, but he's been up against some pretty well-performed horses, so for him to drop back to this grade, he was pretty well placed.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
And Tommy Berry's had a decent day, riding 2 long price winners, the first for the stable. And we're ready to go. Stand by. Contemporary is the favourite. Ready now, and the gates clang back the rock. Blazer Trailers taken back from the wide draw. Felix Majestic jumped well together with Much Better, and Kazu away well goes to third, followed by Sivka Burka. They're followed wider out by Dalalat going forward 3 wide. Excelidas behind it. Then came Raff Attack Gravina. Contemporaries back in the field, 4th last in advance of Cuban Real. Then Lavish Empire and Blazer Trailers last. Much Better holds the front by a length on Felix Majestic. Dalalat strides to third out wide. Sivka Burka 4th, the inside of Kazua. 2 lengths then to Excelidas from Raff Attack. A gap further back to Gravina. Then came Contemporary, Cuban Real, Lavish Empire and Blazer Trail. 600 to go. It's much better. A half to Felix Majestic. Dalalat's had a tough run being scrubbed up. Then Sivka Burka. Kazoo with a bit of cover as they come around the turn. And it's the grey much better just in front of Felix Majestic. Kazoo's coming through. Then came Dalalat, Sivka Burka. Now still well back Contemporary, peeling to the outside, at the 250, and Felix Majestic draws level with much better. Felix Majestic, much better, trying to fight back. A gap back to the rest. It's Felix Majestic, much better. Contemporary late, much better, coming back on Felix Majestic. Contemporary over the top. Yes, got up, right on the wire. Contemporary got up to knock off much better Felix Majestic. Gravina, Lavish Empire, Cuban Real, all bursting home late. Followed by Accelerator, Sivka Burka, Delalat, Kazoo dropped out, and Blazer Trail last.
Oh, Darren's pretty confident that Contemporary has landed in the last stride. It looked that way, but we'll wait for the number to go up before we get too excited. Much better, and Felix Majestic, they were brilliant considering they went quick out in front, which we thought would be the case, and we'll wait for that fourth number. Duff, has he got there?
He's got there all right, I'd say. I'd be heading for the queue, and there it is. He's won by about a head from much better, and Felix Majestic are at each other there, and Gravina's rattled home there late there as well. But boy, heart in your mouth stuff. You never went the early crow there, but he mashed, believe it or Nash, and he got the timing spot on.
Oh, didn't he what? I don't think he ever looked like a winning proposition until the last couple of metres. So 3, 4, 8. Actually, no, 3, 4, 6. Gravina has actually finished third, ahead of, it should be Felix Majestic in fourth spot. So the numbers should read 3, 4, 6 and 8. 1, 16, 48, 34 and 92. Well done, James. At any point of that race, did you think he was going to do that?
Well, look, the pace was solid, and we talked about relying on the genuine pace, and Nash was pretty relaxed about letting it unfold for the horse. So I think he had the right approach, and it proved that way in the finish.
Did you think he got up? I mean, overall he's won by a head, but it didn't look that way at early.
Look, I was settling Contemporary up with Darren Beedman, and Daz was humming and ahhing about whether to wind Nash up, that he hadn't ridden a winner yet today. And I said, Daz, he's just come back from Bali. We need him relaxed for this ride. Don't wind him up. So I'm glad he left that alone.
Off to the paddock now?
Yeah, that's what I felt coming into today. He's a really progressive horse, and you know, the fact that he found so much there's a bit of depth to the horse, and if he can keep sprinting at the end of these trips, then it just keeps opening up more avenues for Contemporary. But look, it's a great result. Proud of the horse, proud of the team to keep him going, and I will certainly cherish this sash here. That's the congratulations.
I want you to put it on your wall.
The congratulations, Chris Waller handicap. So, you know, that means a lot.
Well done.
Thank you.
What on Nash, timing just spot on there.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I feel like he's been crying out for the 1300, and look, today, for whatever reason, he had a bit of a bee in his bonnet, and several times beyond the gates he wanted to dig his heels in and jack up, and it's not him. So it just give me a few signs that he wasn't 100% himself today, but to his credit, he lifted when I really needed him there from the 100, and I was pretty confident we were going to get him the last few hops.
James just said he's probably going to go up for a spell now. 1,400 metres next prep doesn't look an issue. What do you think?
That's always the master. He's obviously noticed the same thing I did. You know, he's got an impeccable record and he's done everything right. So now's the time to do the right thing by him. I think he's shown the signs that he's ready for a break, and there will be a nice race in him.
Well done, Ash.
Cheers.
All of them in. Here's Darren, the final race, race 10.
And the light is on. We're ready now for the last of 10 at Rosehill Gardens. Favourite drawn the inside. The gates are back and they're off and racing. Little Contro jumped out well. It's a good go for the lead. Russian Ronnie has the head in front in the early stages, and Russian Ronnie will go to the front from High Blue Sea, just being restrained as Secret Plan goes forward. Nails Murphy handy, and Little Contro's right there on the rails. Further back to Coyote on the inside is Silver Nito, and then Noble Soldier making some headway. Two for the back to Anything Goes on the inside of First Light, and the last two Brosnan on the inside of Up and Under. Secret Plan pulling in the lead by a half. High Blue Sea rushes up to second. Russian Ronnie took the sit third. Nails Murphy well positioned fourth. One out, one back. Silvanito doing it tough on a three-wide path. Little Contro with a cosy run on the fence. Then Kobe. Anything goes on a wide path with cover. Noble Soldier getting shuffled back from the grey Brosnan first light. Up and under sees them all. Secret Plan at the 550. Ahead in front to High Blue Sea. Nails Murphy pulls three wide now. Then Russian Ronnie and Little Contro up the fence looking to slice through. Secret Plan and High Blue Sea at the 350. Head and head from Nails Murphy. Russian Ronnie. Little Contro's got a gap if good enough, although it's closed up a little bit there. Secret Plan, High Blue Sea, Nails Murphy, Silvanito. Little Contro's locked up again now. Anybody's go here. Secret Plan still kicking in the lead from Silvanito. Secret Plan, Silvanito. Secret Plan a nose to Silvanito. Nails Murphy third, busy finish. Then came High Blue Sea, Little Contro tight for room, up and under late. Close up the inside, Noble Soldier. Then Kobe, Brosnan. Anything goes first light. Russian Ronnie last. Camera.
Oh, tight. You've got number 3, Secret Plan at any old odds, about $41 fixed odds. Just ahead of Silvanito. Darren thinks maybe the inside, but we'll wait for the slow-mo photo. It is tight. Molly Burke threw absolutely everything possible at Secret Plan, and then Silvanito dives. Oh, off that shot, you'd have to say the inside. And indeed, number 3 gets it. A bit of a blowout in the quaddie there, Duff. But number 3's Secret Plan.
Yeah, well, that was a return to form. He hasn't won in a while, but there has been a few little excuses along the way. But maybe those blinkers off did the trick with him, and finding the front may have done the trick with him late in the day here. He was that was a real upset. We've had a couple here today, and so not a good finish for the punters. Silvanito, another second for him. Nothing went right really for Little Cointreau. There was a couple of unlucky runners there. Little Cointreau may have been one, and the other one was Up and Under, who was going to explode if he got any clear running at all. So he's a horse to follow, Up and Under, for later on. But made his own luck, took up the running, claim helped, and he does a great job with these tried horses, Richard Laird.
Indeed he does. Richard, was the secret getting back on the dry track today?
Yeah, look, I think so. He's got very, very good form on wet tracks, but he had a couple of tired runs and we've freshened him up. We probably didn't have that sort of plan to roll forward and lead. We thought we'd be sort of up there, but great initiative by Molly. Fantastic ride and just a wonderful win for the owners, you know. Jason is a massive supporter of mine with Monarch Racing, and this is what we've been looking for, and it's just fantastic for him and a great group of owners, and it's a huge thrill.
Were you holding off, contemplating whether or not to run him because you only put a rider on late?
I did, and I'll be in trouble for that, but we were always going to run, but we were shopping around for a jockey, and this morning we got knocked back by quite a few jockeys. They didn't want to ride him, so I'm very pleased for Molly, and you know, she's a lovely young girl, and my father Jim actually said put her on, and I thought why not, and she's rode it a treat.
Do you think he'd held on?
I stopped looking, to be honest. I was just praying and hoping.
Well done. What a way to start the season.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well done to Richard Lett, the team, and also Molly Burke, who adds another Metro win to her tally. So just waiting for the 7-year-old to come back. He's by I'm Invincible out of a high sharp mare called Highly Secret. That was win number 7 from start number 26. So he's built himself a nice little record. His last win was actually over 12 months ago. So it's been a while, Nick, since he has recorded a victory, but very, very fit coming into this, aided by a beautiful ride from Molly. Blinkers off again and a few little gear changes, and he got the job done.
Yeah, he did. Perfect ride by Molly. Look, going back and looking at this horse, I always thought he was probably a heavy tracker or a soft tracker, but he's done it on the firm surface today. I'll just quickly go through some of these exotics. The first four's paid $32,364, and if you got the quaddie, well done to you, because it's paid $38,741. So I hope there's a couple of tickets out there with the quadrilla as Molly comes over now. She's got a couple of happy owners. You got the call this morning, Molly, but well done. Did you think you won?
I was a little bit worried, but he was definitely had his head down and was trying, so I knew we were close.
Did he feel okay to you on the good ground? Obviously winning today, but a great effort.
Yeah, super. Look, my plan probably wasn't to lead like that, but we jumped so well and we bug-un there and he was a happy horse. So, yeah, I was so glad he kicked from it and got the job done.
Well done, Molly. Plenty of happy owners here.
Thank you.
He